Welcome to the webinar. We'll just give everyone a minute or so to log in. Hello and welcome to the latest TrueCommerce webinar, Beat the Competition with Advanced Supply Chain Analytics. If you do have any questions you'd like to raise during the webinar, please use the chat functionality on the right of your screen and we will look to answer the questions at the end of the session. My name is Robert Simpson and I'm the Marketing Director at TrueCommerce, and I'm joined by my colleague Graham Hope, who is going to take us through the webinar today. At this point, I will pass the reins over to Graham and let him introduce himself.
Thank you, Rob, and welcome to everyone joining the webinar today. As Rob mentioned, the objective of today's session is to cover the fundamentals of TrueCommerce Advanced Analytics and look at how gaining an understanding of your supplier data and applying business analytics can not only improve business operations, but also enhance the performance of your supply chain. But before we continue, we should first understand the role of business analytics in today's marketplace. Let's start with considering what constitutes business analytics. Business analytics refers to the skills, technologies, and practices for the exploration and investigation of past business performance in order to gain insight and drive business planning. So business analytics focuses on developing new insights and understanding of business performance that's based on available data and statistical analysis. It makes extensive use of analysis to then drive a decision-making process. Analytics may be used as input to human decisions, or it may be used to drive fully automated decisions. To understand the need for business analytics, we first need to look at business trends. These will invariably provide the catalyst for change. One of the most common challenges faced by all of our businesses is increased market competition. More so than ever before, customers have access to a global marketplace. This provides the ability to search for suppliers of goods and to drive commercial relationships that maximize the profitability and performance of their business. The size and accessibility of the supply market space has grown significantly. Companies now purchase goods from a variety of suppliers, allowing them to be vendor agnostic. However, the increasing number of suppliers intensifies demands on the supply management capability of a business. The ability of the supply chain to deliver end-to-end performance becomes an essential component of customer retention. The supply chain needs to be agile and flexible to readily adapt to changing customer demand. Digital transformation continues to reshape today's retail landscape, putting far more power into the hands of consumers. Retailers and manufacturers alike have to leverage available technology to ensure they remain competitive and deliver leading levels of service. The nature of the TrueCommerce solutions mean our clients have a repository of information that can be leveraged as part of an analytics portfolio. In order to make this information available in a format that can be readily understood, TrueCommerce have launched their analytics application. The analytics application draws on the core data from within the TrueCommerce solutions and delivers it in an intuitive dashboard. This provides insights into key performance metrics and enables subsequent actions to be taken. Within this webinar, we will focus on the analytics capability associated with EDI transaction data. However, the solution currently delivers information for a number of key business areas whilst retaining the capability for future expansion. The TrueCommerce Advanced Analytics solution has many attributes that could be used to help organisations manage their supplier network. These include consistent and reliable data. Data underpinning the analytics is taken from line of business transactions that have been processed and as such can be considered both consistent and reliable. No new processes for suppliers. The supplier data required for analysis is contained within message transaction detail. This means suppliers do not need to make additional provisions to furnish the necessary information. It already exists within our solution database. Customizable dashboards. Advanced Analytics supports customizable dashboards that can be tailored to deliver information in line with specific customer requirements. Supplier level summary. The information presented in individual dashboards can be summarized to provide a single supplier level view that encompasses all of the relevant metrics. And finally, configurable alerts. Here the option exists to configure alerts against key supplier KPIs. Users will be notified via the dashboard when suppliers fail to achieve those defined objectives. The analytics solution extracts key information and provides summary data regarding supplier performance. Areas for review include for order acknowledgement, did the supplier acknowledge purchase orders in time? If we look at shipping performance, did the supplier ship the products with the correct quantity and on the required date? On time in full, did the supplier ship the correct products at the right time and to the required location? And finally, invoicing errors. How many invoices were submitted in error? How many are currently held for review? What are the most common invoicing errors that we're observing? Using these metrics, it is possible to establish supplier performance and identify whether it's improving or degrading with time. Within the analytics application, the facility exists for the definition of dashboards. A dashboard presents a collection of analytics displayed as charts or data tables and are specific to key business metrics. This concept is illustrated in the slide where you can see dashboards specific to invoices, orders, and order acknowledgements. The analytics dashboards have been defined at two levels and provide an analysis across all suppliers in the enterprise and then drill down capability for a specific supplier where required. The one exception to this approach is within the invoice analysis dashboard. In this instance, analytics are only supported across all suppliers. So let's now consider an aspect of supplier performance that falls under the remit of advanced analytics and has clear industry focus. Supply chain visibility is increasingly fundamental in today's marketplace. The success of the supplier or manufacturer is underpinned by the capability of their supply chain and its ability to react to changing demands. So what does supply chain visibility look to provide? Well, first of all, a detailed view of supplier performance. A key component of the supply chain is ensuring customers get what they want when they want it. The ability to monitor and measure supplier performance becomes a fundamental component of business success. Supplier performance trends. Again, the ability to analyse supplier performance and identify emerging trends. This will enable a business to make intelligent decisions regarding supplier usage and stock levels, and of course plan accordingly. Improve supplier relationships. By building a better understanding of supplier capability, the opportunity exists to enhance trading relationships in areas such as stock availability. Supply chain scalability. Having the necessary processes in place to monitor and manage the supply chain, providing the ability to scale and accommodate increases in demand. And finally, control of processes. Increasing supply chain visibility leads to a better understanding of core processes and the manner in which they are controlled. So supply chain visibility can be seen as addressing both the strategic and operational requirements within a business. From a strategic perspective, one of the key benefits is improved order fulfillment. Giving the customer what they want and when they want it are considered fundamental success factors. The operational benefits associated with supply chain visibility include improved product availability. This enables optimization of order lead times and a reduction of levels of safety stock that would otherwise have been maintained to ensure customer demand could be met. We hear the term OTIF used frequently as a measure of supply chain success and hence an indication of customer satisfaction. So what does this term actually mean? Well, OTIF, or to give it its full term, on time and in full, is a measurement of fulfillment performance within the supply chain. It measures whether the supply chain was able to deliver the expected product in the quantity ordered, at the date and time expected, and to the location agreed by the customer. So OTIF measures how often the customer gets what they want at the time and place they want it. This key performance indicator has the advantage of measuring the performance of the whole logistic organisation in meeting customer service expectations. To achieve a high OTIF level, all the functions of the supply chain must be working at their optimum. So we have considered the objective of an OTIF and what it aims to measure. With this in mind, a business that exhibits some or all of the following symptoms may benefit from a solution to evaluate its OTIF performance. These include a high volume of suppliers to manage, no established supplier performance reporting, the use of historic supplier metrics that are complex, no current means within the business of measuring OTIF, increased concern over the incidence of late orders, and increasing levels of safety stock to offset issues with product availability. Using the analytics capability within the platform would be the first step to identifying and addressing these issues, and in doing so, provide an enhanced customer experience. So having understood some of the factors that affect OTIF, how would implementing the TrueCommerce Analytics solution help address these issues? Well, you could expect analytics to give you insight into the following: visibility of the OTIF landscape, including any seasonal trends, providing a drill down capability within the analysis to readily identify the worst performing suppliers, easily identifying suppliers who are falling short of their established OTIF targets. Importantly, providing a mechanism to work alongside those suppliers to improve business process. And finally, using analytics as an iterative process to continually monitor supplier improvement. Within the analytics solution, supplier performance KPIs are displayed in a grid consisting of 3 rows and 3 columns. Within that, we have the following breakdown. Order acknowledgement analysis displayed in the first column, shipping analysis in the second, and invoice analysis in the third column. Row 1 of the dashboard then displaying KPI percentage. Row 2, the 13-month trend for that KPI, and row 3, the associated counts. Each of the 3 KPIs are supported by individual dashboards that provide an additional level of detail where required. If we consider EDI as an example, the core business data that underpins the analysis comes from a number of transaction records, including the order line, the goods received note, and the advanced shipping notification. This data is then used to identify the line as either OTIF or not OTIF compliant. In our presentation, we have focused on the example of shipping performance and in particular the measurement of OTIF. However, as we've already seen, the functionality within Advanced Analytics extends beyond these measurements. If we consider order acknowledgements, the focus is on the ability of a supplier to acknowledge orders on time. The enhanced level of detail includes standard distribution charts showing the consistency of supplier performance across the community, an analysis of the number of orders acknowledged or not acknowledged over the last 13 periods, a graphical representation of the average days late and the total days late, again for the past 13 periods. And finally, a data table summarising order acknowledgement timeliness by month. The TrueCommerce EDI solution processes a substantial number of supplier invoices each and every day. The nature of an invoice transaction means that TrueCommerce can perform a number of validation checks that aim to ensure the invoice is in a format acceptable by the customer before it's received. For invoices that fail these validation checks, a number of pre-established outcomes can be applied, and these include forwarding the invoice to the customer finance system, but with an email acknowledgement back to the vendor acknowledging a potential issue, holding invoices for review by the customer to either subsequently accept or reject, or rejecting invoices which are then sent back to the vendor for review. The invoicing dashboard provides a readily available analysis that summarises the volume of invoices passed to the customer requiring no human intervention, the number and value of the invoices that have been received and held for review, and finally an analysis of errors by error type specific to each supplier. Armed with this information, the customer can work with the vendor to address the issues with the ultimate aim of achieving 100% invoice validation pass rate. Within the analytics solution, a further level of analysis exists to provide customers with a more detailed breakdown of invoice error types. This enables the customer to easily identify the volume and percentage of invoices that contain the error that is being tracked. This information can then be used in conjunction with the supplier as an aid to productivity. The data is presented pictorially in line charts that provide simple trend analysis. This is supplemented by an additional table that provides supplier level drill down. The capabilities of the Advanced Analytics solution can be leveraged throughout the TrueCommerce portfolio. Data retained within applications like e-commerce, product information management, and vendor managed inventory can be accessed from within analytics and the output used to support many business decisions. Analytics form a strategic component of the TrueCommerce Foundry Suite, and its capability will continue to be extended across current and future solutions. It's clear that today we all operate in an increasingly competitive and demanding market space. There can be no room for complacency. Our customers of today are our competitors' opportunity of tomorrow. The quality of service we offer to our customers becomes just as important as the price of the goods. So we need to ensure that all components of the supply chain are performing to their optimum. Today, TrueCommerce clients using the EDI solution have a unique opportunity to leverage their business data to evaluate their supplier performance. This information provides a platform to assist in managing and expanding supplier community, identify individual supplier performance issues, to work with suppliers to address areas of underperformance, enhance the agility of a business to better react to changes in customer demand, improve business profitability in areas such as safety stock, and finally to implement performance metrics like OTIF to demonstrate supply chain capability to our customers. The analytics solution provides the vehicle to unlock this information and present it in a format that is easy to understand, but with a level of detail able to support supply chain optimization. Analytics is an integral component of the TrueCommerce Foundry application suite and as such remains strategic to the solution portfolio. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation. I hope the information has been of interest and has provided some food for thought.
Thanks for that, Graham. Hopefully that has given everyone a good insight into the capabilities of the Advanced Analytics platform. Okay, now it looks like we have received a couple of questions. I think we have time to answer most of them. The first question, Graham, is can the content of the dashboards be tailored?
Now that's a good question, Rob. As we said in the presentation, the functionality within the dashboard is delivered as an out-of-the-box solution. So this gives users access to standard performance metrics that, in our experience, are the ones most commonly requested. We can, however, work with customers to review specific requirements and develop bespoke dashboard functionality where the appropriate base data exists. So the answer is yes, the facility exists to tailor the dashboards as required.
Okay, thank you, Graham. Okay, I think we have another one here. Will the analytics platform be extended to incorporate all TrueCommerce solutions?
Again, as we touched on briefly in the presentation, the analytics product is currently deployed alongside EDI, e-commerce, product information management, and vendor managed inventory solutions. And I believe the intention is to deploy the analytics solution in conjunction with each of the current and future TrueCommerce solution offerings.
Okay, thank you, Graham. I think that's all we have time for today. Lastly, for anyone who would like a copy of the webinar, we'll be sending a link to the recording in the coming days. If you do need to get in touch with TrueCommerce, we have offices in the UK, Ireland, Denmark, and Belgium, and the contact details for each of these offices can be found above. Thank you to everyone who joined the webinar today. We hope you enjoyed it.